Have you ever stood up from a chair and felt just a little slower than you used to be? Maybe your arms get tired carrying the groceries, or your legs don't feel as steady climbing the stairs. You brush it off. I'm just getting older. But what if I told you that's only part of the truth? Studies show that after age 60, we lose up to 3% of our muscle every year. Even if we stay active, that's not aging. That's something else. Something preventable. It has a name. Sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss.
I'm just getting older.
And it doesn't just make us weaker. It takes our energy, our balance, our independence.
After the age of 60,
but here's what no
roughly
one tells
3%
you.
of our muscle
You
fibers
can
each year.
rebuild, not with protein powders, not with intense workouts, but with quiet, consistent care. And it starts not in the gym, but in the kitchen. In Japan, I've met 80-year-olds who still bike to the market, not because they're superhuman, but because of what they eat and how they live. Today, I'll show you 7 everyday Japanese foods that gently nourish muscle, protect bones, and bring back energy, no matter your age. But first tell me this, where are you watching from? And what time is it for you right now? Leave a comment below. I'd truly love to hear from you. And if you're ready to feel strong again, don't forget to hit subscribe. Let's begin. Every year after 60, something invisible begins to happen. You don't see it in the mirror. You don't feel it all at once.
Wow,
But one
we have
day,
people watching from
you reach for a
Ohio
box
and
that used to
London
feel light,
already. This is
and it
amazing.
feels heavy.
Thank you all so
You
much
stand
for
up from
being
your
here
favorite
tonight.
chair and
Thank
need a
you for
moment
watching.
to find your
To
balance.
experience more of
You
this
tell
cinematic
yourself,
journey,
I'm just tired
please click
today.
the subscribe button
But it's
below.
not just a day. What's happening is sarcopenia, a quiet, slow loss of muscle mass that affects nearly 1 in 3 adults over 60. And by 80, up to 30% of muscle can be gone. It's not dramatic, like a heart attack. It doesn't hurt like arthritis, but it slowly takes away your strength, your energy, your independence. One of my patients
I'm just
once
tired
said,
today.
I don't mind getting older. I just don't want to feel helpless. That's what makes sarcopenia so dangerous. It doesn't just weaken your body. It weakens your confidence. Muscle isn't just for athletes. It's what helps you stay upright, stable, and active. Muscle protects your bones when you fall. It keeps your metabolism steady and your blood sugar in check. It even supports your immune system. And yet, most of us don't realize we're losing it until a small fall becomes a big injury, until the stairs feel like Everest, until a simple walk feels like a marathon. But here's the truth. Losing muscle after 60 is common, but it's not inevitable. You can stop it, you can reverse it, but not by doing what worked in your 40s. Because after 60, your body responds to food, movement, and stress differently. You need a new strategy, one that works with your body, not against it. And in the next part, we'll uncover the silent blocker that makes building muscle so much harder as we age, even if you're eating well. Because if you're eating the right foods, but still feeling weaker, this next truth might surprise you. You're eating healthy. You've added more protein. You're doing everything
It's
right.
true that losing muscle is
So
common,
why does it still
but I
feel
want
like
you
your
to know
strength is
that it
slipping
not
away?
inevitable.
The answer
We have a
lies
plan
in
to
something
keep you
your
strong.
doctor probably never mentioned. It's called anabolic resistance. And it's one of the main reasons why rebuilding muscle after 60 becomes so frustrating. Here's what happens. When you were 30 or 40, your muscles responded quickly to protein. A piece of chicken, a boiled egg, a serving of beans. Your body took it, used it, and built strength. But after 60, that process becomes less efficient. Your muscles stop listening. It's like trying to talk through a wall. You're saying the right things, but nothing's getting through. This means that the same amount of protein that once helped you maintain strength now barely keeps you from losing more. You need more, and you need it more often. Most older adults don't realize this. They think eating a steak at dinner is enough. But studies show that spreading protein throughout the day, starting with breakfast, is key to overcoming anabolic resistance. Let me give you an example. Imagine your muscles are like a sponge. In your younger years, they soaked up protein easily, but now the sponge is drier, stiffer. To absorb anything, it needs smaller doses more frequently. That's why in Japan, elders don't save protein for one big meal. They gently nourish their bodies throughout the day. A few bites of tofu at breakfast, miso soup at lunch, grilled fish at dinner. And results? They keep their strength. They stay mobile. They stay independent. One study from the Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who consumed 25 to 30 grams of protein in each meal had significantly better muscle mass than those who consumed the same amount, but all at once. So if you're over 60, ask yourself, am I feeding my muscles enough and often enough? In the next section, we'll explore how Japanese elders apply this idea in their daily meals, and how you can adopt the same habits, no matter where you live. What do Japanese 80-year-olds know that we don't? Let's take a closer look at how they age so gracefully. I'll never forget the woman I met in Kyoto. She was 84, wearing a sun hat, pushing her bicycle with a basket full of groceries, smiling as she walked uphill. No cane, no assistance, just quiet strength. I asked her, "What's your secret?" She laughed and said, "I eat good food and sweep my yard every morning." Simple, ordinary, but powerful. In Japan, stories like hers aren't rare. It's common to see elders gardening, biking, climbing stairs with ease, even in their 80s and 90s. Meanwhile, in many Western countries, aging is often associated with walkers, grab rails, and a growing list of medications. So what's the difference? A big part of it is how they eat. And when, in the West, protein is often packed into one heavy meal, usually dinner. But Japanese elders spread their protein intake gently and evenly throughout the day. A soft-boiled egg or natto in the morning, miso soup with tofu at lunch, grilled fish or soba in the evening. These aren't grand meals. They're small, thoughtful, and rhythmic, designed not to impress, but to support the body. And it's not just the ingredients. It's the intention behind them. Japanese elders practice something called shokuku, the philosophy of mindful eating. Food isn't fuel to be rushed through. It's connection to health, to memory, to tradition. They eat sitting down. With gratitude, they chew slowly. They stop before they're full. And over time, this gentle, intentional way of eating becomes a form of medicine. In the West, we chase more protein, more supplements, more dramatic results. In Japan, they honor enough. Small meals, simple ingredients, steady care. One of my patients in California once switched from a typical high-protein shake at lunch to a warm bowl of miso soup with tofu and rice. 2 months later, her digestion improved, her blood sugar stabilized, and she told me something I'll never forget. For the first time in years, I don't feel bloated. I feel nourished. The Japanese way isn't about restriction. It's about balance. And the best part? You don't have to move to Japan to embrace it. In the next section, I'll show you 7 specific Japanese foods available in most Western grocery stores that are quietly helping elders rebuild strength, stay independent, and feel alive. Let's start with one of the most powerful and unexpected muscle foods on the planet. Sticky, smelly, and completely life-giving. When most people think of muscle food, they picture steak, or eggs, or protein powder. But in Japan, the most powerful muscle-supporting meals come in quieter forms. They don't come in tubs or wrappers. They come in bowls. Chopsticks. Tradition. Let's explore 7 humble, everyday foods that Japanese elders eat. Foods that gently rebuild muscle, protect bones, and support energy without the stress, cost, or heaviness of Western diets. 1. Natto, the sticky superfood for muscle and bone. At first glance, natto is strange. Sticky, stringy with a strong aroma. But don't let appearances fool you. Just 2 tablespoons of natto pack around 8 grams of complete protein. Plus something even more powerful, vitamin K2, which helps calcium reach your bones, not your arteries. It's also fermented, meaning it delivers natural probiotics that aid digestion and help your body absorb more nutrients, critical for aging bodies. One of my patients, Frank, 74, added natto to his breakfast twice a week. 3 months later, he reported more energy, better digestion, and even regained a few pounds of lean muscle, not fat. 2. Miso soup, a gentle dose of daily strength. Warm, savory, soothing. But beneath the comfort, miso soup is packed with fermented soy protein, enzymes, and minerals. Easily absorbed, easy on the stomach. Served at breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it becomes a quiet ritual of healing. Add tofu, seaweed, green onions, or mushrooms. You've got a protein-rich, bone-loving powerhouse in a single bowl.
To clearer
3.
thinking and
Small
better
fish,
energy.
tiny bodies, big benefits. In Japan, elders eat small whole fish like sardines and anchovies, bones, skin, and all. This means calcium, vitamin D, protein, and omega-3s come together in one bite-sized package. One of my 81-year-old patients called sardines his memory food after noticing clearer thinking and better energy. Plus, these fish are affordable, shelf-stable, and simple to prepare. 4. Tofu, the golden protein for aging bodies. Soft, easy to chew, and surprisingly powerful. Just 3.5 ounces of tofu gives about 9 grams of complete protein, along with iron, calcium, and isoflavones, which help muscle, bone, and hormonal balance, especially for women after menopause. Tofu doesn't demand attention. It fits gently into meals, soups, stir-fries, cold dishes, supporting your body without stress. 5. Tamago, Japanese-style eggs, protein with purpose. In Japan, eggs aren't just breakfast. They're steamed, rolled gently with soy sauce, and served with rice and vegetables. 1 egg contains 6 to 7 grams of high-quality protein plus choline and vitamin B12, crucial for nerve health and energy. Serve in the morning. Tamago gives your muscles early support, right when your body needs it most. 6. Buckwheat
Building
soba,
strength,
the
one
noodle
bean
that
at a
nourishes.
time.
Forget heavy pasta. Soba noodles, made from buckwheat, are light, digestible, and protein-rich, up to 12 g per serving. They're also low glycemic and anti-inflammatory,
full,
thanks to rutin,
focused,
a natural antioxidant.
and
Whether served cold
I
with
don't
dipping
crash
sauce or in a
anymore.
warm broth, soba supports strength and stable energy without spiking blood sugar. 7. Edamame, the snack that builds strength 1 bean at a time. Simple, fun, powerful. A cup of steamed edamame gives you 18 g of plant protein, plus fiber, magnesium, and folate. My patient Rosa, 82, swapped her cookie snack for edamame in the afternoons. After a few weeks, she said, "I feel full, focused, and I don't crash anymore." Each of these foods is available in most grocery stores. No fancy recipes, no strict diets, just real food eaten with care. In the next part, we'll explore why this little by little approach works better than any drastic change, and how gentle meals, eaten with rhythm, can change everything. What if building strength wasn't about eating more, but about eating smarter? In the West, we're taught that more is better. More protein, bigger portions, intense workouts. But in Japan, the secret to strength after 60 isn't in doing more. It's in doing the right things, gently, consistently. Think about it like watering a plant. Too much at once drowns it. Too little and it withers. But a small, steady stream each day, that's what helps it thrive. Your muscles work the same way. Studies show that older adults build muscle better when protein is spread evenly throughout the day, rather than packed into one heavy meal.
I feel
Why?
like
Because
myself
after
again.
60, your body can't absorb large amounts of protein at once. Instead of fueling muscle, the excess gets wasted. That's why Japanese elders eat small portions of protein-rich foods every few hours. A soft-boiled egg in the morning, a cup of miso soup at night, a few bites of tofu in the afternoon, grilled fish in the evening. It doesn't look like much on a plate, but over time, this quiet rhythm adds up to something powerful. It's not just about what they eat, it's when and how. They don't rush. They sit down. They chew slowly. They stop before they're full. And their bodies listen. They absorb more. They stay balanced. They stay strong. One of my patients, Barbara, 76, was frustrated. She said, "I tried protein shakes, big meals, eating like my grandson, but nothing worked." So we switched her to smaller
gentle,
meals,
glowing
spread throughout the
sent to
day.
muscles,
No shakes,
encouraging them to
no
preserve
stress,
themselves.
just eggs, tofu,
We don't
miso,
try
edamame.
build
6
muscle.
weeks later, she walked into
try
my
to
office with a smile.
Keep it alive.
I feel steadier. I don't nap as much. I feel like myself again. That's the power of small. It doesn't shock the system. It supports it gently and effectively. In the next section, we'll explore how movement fits into this picture and why in Japan you don't need a gym to keep your muscles alive. What if your daily chores, walking, gardening, squatting, were more powerful than treadmill? We often think strength comes from lifting heavy weights or going to the gym. But what if I told you the strongest elders I met don't even own a pair of dumbbells? In Japan, strength doesn't come from machines. It comes from movement woven into daily life. They walk to the train. They sweep their porches. They kneel to garden. They squat while cooking. It's not a workout. It's a lifestyle.
I don't
And
feel
this
younger.
constant, gentle movement sends a powerful message to their muscles.
More capable.
Stay alive. Stay needed. Because here's what science tells us. The body is incredibly efficient. If a muscle isn't used, it's broken down. The technical term is muscle atrophy, and it starts faster than you think. But it doesn't take much to stop it. Studies show that even low-intensity activity, when done regularly, helps preserve muscle, support balance, and prevent falls. One of my favorite quotes came from a Japanese colleague in Osaka. He said, "We don't try to build muscle. We try to keep it alive." So how can you apply this without a gym, trainer, or fancy gear? Here are 3 gentle daily movements inspired by Japanese elders. 1. The garden squat. Spend 1 to 2 minutes a few times a day in a deep squat, like you're tending the soil. It strengthens your legs, hips, and improves balance. 2. The kitchen stand. While waiting for your tea or soup to heat, do slow heel raises. Lift up onto your toes, hold, and lower. It builds ankle strength and improves circulation. 3. The floor sit challenge. Try sitting on the floor, on a mat or cushion, and getting up without using your hands. It engages your core and legs, and is a surprisingly effective strength test. These movements are small, but done daily, they create powerful change. One of my patients, Carl, 79, started doing these 3 things. No gym, no equipment. A month later, he told me, "I don't feel younger. I feel more capable." That's even better. In Japan, they don't fight aging. They move with it. And because of that, they stay strong longer. In the next section, I'll show you how to bring all of this together with a sample meal plan built for strength, 1 bite at a time. What does a day of strength
You are not
building really look
declining.
like? Let's build it meal
You
by
are
meal,
Rebuilding.
Information is helpful, but application is powerful. You've learned what to eat. Now let's look at how to bring it all together. In a single day that supports strength, balance, and energy after 60, you don't need to move to Japan. You don't need to give up your favorite foods. But a few small swaps, repeated daily, can rebuild your body from the inside out. Let me walk you through a realistic meal plan.
You are not declining.
Inspired by Japanese elders,
You
adapted
are
for life in the West.
rebuilding.
Breakfast, 7:30 a.m. gentle protein. To start the day, Tamago Japanese-style rolled egg. 1 to 2 eggs lightly seasoned. Small bowl of rice or multi-grain toast. Edamame or a spoonful of natto if adventurous. Green tea. Why it works. Protein in the morning helps overcome anabolic resistance and set your muscles up for the day. Plus, it's light and easy to digest. This breakfast doesn't weigh me down. It lifts me up. Patient, age 72. Lunch, 12 p.m. warm nourishment, balanced energy. Miso soup with tofu, seaweed, green onions. Steamed or raw vegetables, carrots, spinach, radish. Small serving of grilled sardines or canned salmon. Side of brown rice or soba noodles, buckwheat. Why it works. It's warm, grounding, and filled with complete protein, probiotics, and anti-inflammatory nutrients. And it fuels your afternoon without a crash. Afternoon snack, 3:30 p.m. light, protein-rich, satisfying. Small bowl of edamame, lightly salted. Sliced apple or fruit of choice. Herbal tea or warm water with lemon. Why it works. A steady dose of protein keeps muscles fed and prevents energy dips. This is where most Western diets fall short, and Japanese habits shine. Dinner, 6 p.m. calm, nourishing, easy to digest. Hot soba noodles in dashi broth with mushrooms and tofu. Lightly sautéed greens, bok choy, kale, or cabbage. Optional. Soft boiled egg or small piece of grilled fish. A few slices of fruit for dessert. Why it works.
Resilience.
It's satisfying
without
but not heavy.
pressure.
Perfect for supporting overnight recovery without overloading digestion. Protein overview for the day. Approximate. Breakfast, 20g. Lunch, 25, 30g. Snack, 10, 15g. Dinner, 25g. Total, 80, 90g. Ideal range for most older adults. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to follow it every day. But even starting with one small change, like miso soup for lunch or eggs for breakfast, can shift the momentum of your health. Because in Japan, health isn't a project. It's a rhythm. In the final section,
So as we look ahead,
we'll
I hope
return
you'll
the
come
heart of
along.
all this.
Be sure to
Not
hit that
muscle,
subscribe
not
button
food,
before you
but
go.
something deeper. A quiet reminder that you're not just growing older, you're rebuilding. Strength is not about chasing youth. It's about honoring where you are and choosing to care for it. If you made it this far, I want you to hear something clearly. You are not declining. You are rebuilding. Maybe you felt a little slower lately. Maybe you looked in the mirror and wondered, where did my strength go? Maybe someone even told you, that's just aging. But I want you to know, you are not broken, and you don't need to be fixed. You simply need to be fed. Fed with intention. Fed with rhythm. Fed with kindness. In Japan, strength isn't measured by how much you can lift, but by how well you can live. Walk to the market. Cook for yourself. Play with your grandchildren. Get out of a chair without help. And these things, they don't come from diets or products. They come from choices repeated quietly every day. A spoon of miso in the morning. A few bites of tofu at lunch. A handful of edamame in the afternoon. It doesn't seem like much, but over time, it builds something powerful. Strength with softness. Resilience without pressure. A body that serves you, not hold
It
you
is so
back.
wonderful to see
So
everyone
start
out
small.
here today.
Choose one
The
food,
weather is perfect
one
for it.
change.
We should do
Let
this
it become
more
part of
often.
your rhythm. And let your body feel the care it's been waiting for. Because no matter your age, no matter your story, you deserve to feel strong again. If this video gave you hope or clarity, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, which food are you most excited to try? And if you haven't already, subscribe. There's so much more healing ahead. Together, let's keep rebuilding gently, wisely, beautifully.